Last week of your season, do you drop star players to get more players?
Cherry Credit Beats.
Hey, well, what's going on? It's your boy T Will at T Will 5. Hey, we here with another episode of the Hustle Sports Fantasy Podcast. We heading into fantasy the last week of the season, week 24. And this episode is built around the late playoff push, you know what I'm saying, and to bring home those championships. You know what I'm saying? With the grind on stop, we here to get a dub. You know what I'm saying? And tonight's the breakdown. We're gonna keep it short and sweet, get straight to the point. We're going to cover last week's top performer, the Hustles pickup. That's our waiver wire scoop. And we're going to close out with a fantasy community debate. I'm here to help you get better, here to help you get a dub. You already know why we're here. No hype, no fluff, just straight structure, clarity, you know what I'm saying, and a winning mindset. Numbers over narratives. You already know. Let's get into it. It's the playoff recap. Last week was crazy. The top dog from last week went nuclear. We're going into the final week of the season, so you already know the margins are tightening up. You know what I mean? The last week top playoff performer showed dependability, and the importance of usage, efficiency, and repeatability. And when you understand those three, you still competing at this point in the season. You know, that top performer, created player, Victor Wembanyama. From the San Antonio Spurs, he's second at his position for the season. He averaging 24.6 points, 11.4 rebounds, 3.1 assists, and then 3.1 blocks a game. And he makes 1.9 threes a game over the course of the season. And he leading the league in blocks by a mile. You know what I mean? He one of the main reasons that the Spurs are in contender status this season. You know, they sped up their timeline with, you know, some of the trades they made. Wemby balling, like I say, leading the league in blocks. And in week 23, he averaged 87.7 fantasy points. I'm gonna break that down again. 87. Crazy. That's two people's production. That's two players' production with one person. He did that in 3 games last week. That was championship week for some. So if you played in your championship and you had Wemby, congratulations, because I'm pretty sure you got a dub. And if you didn't, hey, sometimes the cookie crumble that way, and that's tough. I ain't gonna lie to you, that's tough. But hey, for the ones who still competing this week, who Wemby catapulted you to the championship in your league, congratulations to you as well. Hey, it's the last week of the season, so you was able to get here because of the production of Wemby over the season. You know what I'm saying? Last week, he averaged 38.7 points, 17.3 rebounds, 4.7 assists, 3.7 blocks, and 2.3 threes made a game over the week. He was really on some other stuff, honestly. I ain't gonna lie to you. So if you got him, great work. Shout out to y'all managers. I know he helping a lot of managers get a dub, and that's what we here for. Hey, so like I said, we're gonna keep it short and sweet on this one. We're gonna keep it moving to the Hustles pickups. This is the waiver wire gems, waiver wire scoops. This segment, it's about opportunity. It's not about hype. We get it. It ain't about reputation. We grinding with pickups, no fluff, no, how you feel about him. If you like the guy or not, we don't care about none of it. We here to get a dub. We here to get chips. We here to get wins. You know what I'm saying? We looking for players with dependability, dependable minutes, roles that fill a category need, or production that sustains. And as I always say, don't chase the name, chase the role. And just know, opportunity beats reputation every single time in fantasy. And for guards, you know what I'm saying, this guy has an amazing opportunity actually on his play for the rest of the season, rest of the fantasy playoffs. This is the last week. Number solid for the season. He averaging 24.2 fantasy points on the season, 13.4 points, 3.3 assists, 3.6 rebounds, 1.1 steal a game, and then 1.2 threes made a game. He doing that in 25 minutes. I ain't gonna lie, I streamed bro in my championship, and he helped me get my dub. He helped me secure the dub. So hey, I appreciate your service. And with the Pelicans lineup, fluctuating, I think this guy is a great ad. That's Jeremiah Fears. You know what I'm saying? He's 26.2% roster from the Pelicans. He having a great week with 43.7 fantasy points over the last 7 days. At this point in the season, I said, I've been saying it all year, it is really hard to get production that good this late. So the fact that he's done that over a 7-day stretch shows me, hey, look, he shouldn't be out there. That 26 number for his roster percentage should be way higher. He averaged 22.7 points, 4.7 assists, 4.3 rebounds, 1.3 steals, 1 block, and 3.3 threes made a game in that stretch. Going crazy, really hooping. The Pelicans got 3 games scheduled this week with 2 games for the weekend. So the opportunities are there for Fears to continue balling. Make sure y'all stream him in championship week for some of y'all. All right, here go another guy who's ticking up, you know what I mean? Like he's doing his thing recently. You know what I mean? You looking at his season numbers, he got solid numbers. He averaging 22.8 fantasy points. That's for the season. 11.3 points, 3.5 rebounds, 3.4 assists, 0.9 threes made a game. He closer to 1 and he's not. And he's doing that in 26 minutes a game. I mentioned him on a midweek hustle episode early in the year. Miami solidified in the 10th seed. They got the last play-in spot. Don't look like they can move up. So I think this guy is going to be a great opportunity for him because he can get reps in for the play-in season. That guy, Pele Larson from the Miami Heat. He's 9.3% roster, or it went up 0.2 since I done my visual. So he's 9.5% roster. Still very low. But in his last 7 days, he's averaged 38 fantasy points a game. He averaged 18 points, 6.7 rebounds, 4.3 assists, 1.3 steals, 1 block a game in them last 7 in his last 7 days. So a block is crazy from the guard position. You know what I mean? So he getting you defense, offense, playmaking, rebounding. He's really doing it all. Check him out. Miami got 4 games scheduled in this upcoming week, including a 3-game and 4-night stretch starting Thursday. So they got a back-to-back Thursday, Friday, and then they play again Sunday. It's a quality ad with great opportunity. Make sure y'all stream him now. You know what I'm saying? So my next guy with silly season being on the squad for most of this year, here go another great opportunity to get a dub with this guy after breaking down his numbers. Season numbers ain't great, but I think a lot of that was because of opportunity or lack thereof opportunity early in the year. But now he's starting to get it. His recent performances got him on the radar. For me, if I was in my season or in a league that competed this late, I'm definitely looking at this guy. Now, his season numbers, this is what he's doing for the season. 11.9 fantasy points. Like I say, not crazy. He's getting 5.6 points, 2.9 rebounds, 1.3 assists, 0.8 threes made a game, and 15.3 minutes a game. You know what I'm saying? So you don't love that. You hear that, you're like, whatever. Hey, but this guy, Kobe Brown from the Indiana Pacers, is 2.5% rostered. You need to make sure you check him out. In his last 4 games, bro really hooping. He averaging 35 fantasy points where he getting 14.5 points, 7 rebounds. Hold on. Whoa. 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 14.5, 7, 5. And he doing that. He getting 2 threes made a game in that same stretch. He scored 40 fantasy points, that is, April 1st against the Bulls. He finished that game with 17, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, and 1 3 made that night. Had a great night. He worked the stream. One of the more trustworthy players on the Pacers at this point in the season. The Pacers has 4 games scheduled in this upcoming week, same as Miami, including a 3-game stretch that starts Thursday night, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. That makes him a quality ad with solid opportunity. Make sure y'all stream him now. Here go a guy whose stock has been up recently, playing at least 20 minutes a game in his last 6 games. Season decent in limited minutes. He's averaging 22.9 fantasy points, 8.5 points, 4.9 rebounds, 1.9 assists, zero point 0.9 steals, zero point 0.9 blocks, which tells me he's a stock specialist on some nights for you category players out there. You know what I'm saying? He's doing that over the course of the season, a solid year, you're rookie. Been having a solid rookie campaign. You know what I'm saying? This guy is literally, he's widely available in most ESPN leagues, and that is Colin Murray Boyles. He's 5.3% rostered. And that what I'm saying, he's doing this thing. He's averaging 30.3 fantasy points a game in his last 4 games. Numbers ain't crazy, like I say, but he contributed in multiple categories. He averaged 16.3 points. That's actually decent. 5.8 rebounds, 1.8 assists a game in his last 4 games. He had 33 fantasy points against the Celtics on Sunday. That was April 5th. Raptors also have 4 games scheduled in this week, including a 3-game stretch in 4 nights that starts on Thursday. So a lot of the schedule look like it's backloaded for this week. So there's 3 days out of 4 where you could get a lot of opportunity and a lot of production out there. And like I say, I think this guy got a great opportunity ahead of him. Make sure y'all stream him now. That is Colin Murray Boyles from the Toronto Raptors. Now, this guy been seeing an uptick in minutes. You know what I mean? That's reflecting his fantasy production. But you probably ain't in love with this guy's floor, but he's been solid his whole career. 23.6 fantasy points this season. That's an average 5 and he averaging 5.6 points a game, 8.8 rebounds, zero point 0.9 assists, but you ain't getting them for playmaking. So you can't stress on that. But 0.9 steals and 1.2 blocks tells me a stock specialist some nights, most nights. 19.2 minutes a game for the season. And that is from the New York Knicks, Mitchell Robinson. You know what I'm saying? He's 7.7% rostered. Excuse me. He's averaged 34 fantasy points over his last 7 days. And in those 7 days, he averaged 10 points, 9.3 rebounds, 1.7 steals, 1.3 blocks. So you're getting points, rebounds, stocks, steals, and blocks, 19.7 minutes. He did that over his last 7 days. He's really been very productive in the recent stretch, averaging 21 minutes in his last 5 games. Robinson is dominating defensively. It's showing up in the fantasy stat sheet. Knicks only have 3 games this week, though. However, their first game of the week is Thursday. So you got 3 games out of 4 days, just like the other players that I mentioned. You got Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. Make sure you check him out to stream this week because he can help you get a dub. You know what I mean? He probably, so yeah. Check him out. Mitchell Robinson from the New York Knicks. Now, this one, probably not the most notable name on the list, but he had a decent season. Season numbers ain't, they solid for a bench role. He's doing this thing, 20.6 fantasy point average on the season, 6.5 points, 5.1 rebounds, 2.3 assists, zero point 0.9 steals, zero point 0.7 blocks, and he's doing that 22.3 minutes a game. You know what I'm saying? Minutes kind of skewed because of some injuries to the front court, to Mark Williams especially. But I still believe this is a great stream, a great ad. He's been decent all year. You can look at his numbers from when Mark Williams came back, and he still had a good night. And that's also Iguodala from the Phoenix Suns. You know what I'm saying? He coded as a power forward, 9.3% roster, averaged 29 fantasy points a game in his last 4 games. But he doing his thing, contributing 7 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 1.3 blocks, and he doing that in almost 27 minutes a game. 4 games scheduled this week to close out the season. He's a great stream. I streamed also early in the year. I dropped him. Somebody in my league grabbed him, and they never let him go, which was a good move because he played well all season. He's a great ad this week. You know what I'm saying? Have him help you get a dub. I believe in this guy. Also, Iguodala, that's my guy. So, that's it for the waiver wire scoops, the hustle pickup. I gave you 6 guys. Hey, and if you need more guys, make sure you check out my episode on Believe in Fantasy's YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving you more guys on there. I got a couple episodes on there that I'm giving you names that can help you get a dub. Make sure you check it out. You know what I'm saying? But we at that point, we had to cut it short for this episode. This is the last week of the season. I want to make sure I get y'all some names, get y'all to the point, get y'all straight to it so y'all get a dub. We hit a grind, we hit a work. You already know. Fantasy community debate is what we're closing out with. And it could be something that's bold, something I see on the internet, anything, a conversation I have with somebody. It could come from anywhere. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we close with to help everybody get a dub. Hey, before we get into it, make sure y'all follow Hustle Sports Net on X at the Hustle Sports Network on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, wherever, we everywhere on the platform. Wherever you get your news, your media from, follow us there. Hey, so I want y'all to tap in on this debate though, because I want to hear what y'all think on it. Make sure y'all use the chat. You know what I'm saying? Tag us, let us know what you think on it. The question is, now this is the last week of the season. Last week of your season, do you drop star players to get more players? I would say absolutely. However, it depends on the situation. So, for instance, for those of you that got Luka and Reeves, they out for the rest of the regular season. You could drop them safely. You know what I mean? The Lakers locked into the third spot. Now it's not a lot of movement that can happen up or down. They probably won't come back early. Now, obviously, you want to check for news. Make sure you don't do anything prematurely. Make sure you dot your I's, cross your T's. Make sure you do your research. So in that situation, yeah, you can safely drop them. But let's say you got another situation where towards the end of the week, you see you down. Not a game to change. The flow of your matchup can change. And you need some extra help. And you got a guy. I gave y'all 6 teams that got 3 games in 4 nights closing out this week. Might not want to drop players from those teams because you're going to get more production if they play. But like, let's say I know my championship was 2 weeks ago, and that I had Luka, and that week the Lakers played Friday, and they didn't play again until Monday, which at that point my matchup was over. In that situation, yeah, absolutely. You could drop a stud to go get somebody else to get the points because the season gonna be over anyway. By the time they play again, it ain't gonna matter. So yeah, I think it's situational. Me personally, that's the take I would take. I'm big on streaming, so I'm looking for opportunity everywhere. So let me know, tap in what you think on it. How you see that? How would you move? Would you drop a star player to get more players? Let me know how you think about it. So we at the end. That gives us a wrap. That's the final episode for the season. I will be giving more players. I'm showing love, trying to get y'all to help get y'all across that finish line. So yeah, but this is the final main episode. I appreciate y'all for tapping in for this 2025-2026 season of the Hustle Sports Fantasy Podcast. Make sure y'all follow wherever, like, subscribe. Hey, and always remember, numbers over narratives. Remember that. Numbers over narratives. And if you found this episode helpful, make sure to check out my midweek hustle episodes for more names that can help you win your leagues.